Cup champion Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neal Ruhl. Sit back and relax. It's time for your daily dose of Big D energy.
Yo, welcome back, everybody, to Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Ruhl. That guy over there, D-Mac, Darren McCarty.
Big D!
You may have heard of him. You may know him. Sam Flannel, you may know him as well. He's here. I understand he's a bit hungover. A huge Michigan victory in the NIT yesterday over Toledo. Had to sweat it a little bit, but in the end, Sam Flannel, the cream always rises to the top. And Michigan moving on in the NIT. Next stop, Vanderbilt, Sam Flannel.
All I have to say about last night is screw Joey Baker. You picked until the damn NIT to have your coming out party to finally turn into Klay Thompson all of a sudden. Where was that at the whole season? This freaking guy, Joey Baker. Joey Baker has officially climbed to my list of most hated Michigan basketball players of all time. Who has their coming out party in the NIT? Who does that? If he would have done that once or twice throughout the regular season, Michigan would be in the tournament, and this would be null and void. They would have a chance to make a miracle run. But no, Joey Baker decides to, like I said, turn into Klay Thompson come NIT time. Great job, Joey Baker. Screw you.
Have you procured your NIT t-shirt, Sam Flannel? That's the question D-Mac and I have.
I mean, I should procure my Joey Baker NIT MVP t-shirt at the rate he's going. I guess the great ones really come to play when the stakes are the highest, right? Jesus Christ. Screw Joey Baker.
Winning's winning, Sam. There you go. Enjoy it while you can. You got stuff. You beat Toledo. I mean, we were worried yesterday, weren't we?
And just like the Toledo War.
Well, I mean, they won. Michigan did get the win. They had a revenge game to revenge that 2008 football loss.
There you go. So now you're all square. Now the account's square, right?
But still, isn't it just so insane that Joey Baker decides the NIT to finally have... That was his first 20-point game of the season. His season high up to that point was 14. He'd been in double digits, five times this season. Why didn't he do that at Illinois a couple weeks ago? 0 for 5, 0 for 4, including a miss to potentially win the game in overtime and an air ball to potentially tie the game in double overtime. How about at Indiana, 0 for 1, 0 points. At MSU, when they lost 59-53, 0 for 5, 0 points. Versus
all right,
CMU,
Sam Flannel, that's enough,
points.
Sam Flannel, that's enough. We get it. We get it.
I understand
and
that.
you know what, Sam? I'm sorry, but we all have to listen to Neal this morning. As Detroit Dabber said, happy birthday to the engineer of tone. And Grit already threw in a happy birthday, bozo. And it's not Sam's birthday, but I think he was referring to you. But yes, it is our fearless leader's birthday today, so we're allowing him to have a little bit of fun.
Yes, and we will. By the way, 11:14. I'm going to give everybody an opportunity to get in and get settled. I didn't want to lead off with this. 11:14. I have my official statement on Brad Holmes and the whole Montgomery, Jamaal Williams, free agency draft stuff.
I'm going
to
call that your birthday diatribe.
Yeah, well, I'm going to commandeer the floor for a minute, and I'm just going to get my official statement out there. So you don't want to miss that one. Trust me. But yeah, big news popping all over the National Football League as we figured. Tammy Chin, happy birthday, Neal. Appreciate it, Tammy. Thank you very, very much. But again, happy to have all you all with us. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Jump in there. Get your thoughts in there. Hell, sometimes you guys program the show and make my life easier. So I'm for that. And subscribe to the podcast also. If you're just starting it up right now, you want to go back and listen to some stuff from yesterday, maybe you're going to jump out wherever you get your podcast, iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network podcast. So some breaking NFL news. Pete Smith, it's Neal's birthday. We got him another furnace. Well, they haven't delivered it yet, I guess. Did you do this, D-Mac? Did you spearhead this? Everybody chip in, get me a new furnace, another furnace?
You know what it is? It's the pitch up to get up to the mountain.
Yes.
Right, exactly. You have to. We don't have the right vehicle yet, so we're getting that semi truck to go up to the top of the mountain to deliver that. But could be there by the end of the day.
Highest elevation in Macomb County. On a clear day, you can see the Rensen from the corner of 29 and Campground. Just so everybody knows that. When you're on the first tee on the Orchards, which we will be at sometime this summer, D-Mac, on a clear day, you can see the Rensen.
Well, we'll have to take a picture and Save it for the people.
And
that's how you lord over people on this birthday, March 15th. Spenmo Rax, what's up, kid?
How you doing?
Spenmo, I know you were celebrating the Michigan NIT victory,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Big celebration at the Raxter household last night. It was a great time. Big win. They kept it close there in the first half, but they pulled out.
In the end, the cream rises to the top.
Yeah, it was a great win, and we'll see who they get, Vanderbilt or...
No, they got Vanderbilt.
They got Vandy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the scouting report, Flannel?
Yeah, I know you watched the Vanderbilt game after, Sam Flannel.
The scouting report is as long as Joey Baker turns into Klay Thompson, they can beat anybody. Because that's basically what happened yesterday. Spenmo, imagine if an MSU player, I know you don't know what the NIT even is right now. Imagine if one of them had their career game in the freaking NIT when he couldn't do it for the first 32 games. He was a bum. Unbelievable.
Yes.
Hate that guy.
But again, appreciate all the birthday wishes. That is very, very nice of you all. Breaking news right as we hit the air, the Philadelphia Eagles have released Darius Slay, which was an interesting move to me. Now, last I heard, and I haven't read up on it lately, so I'll lean on you guys here. Are they still intent on hiring Matt Patricia?
No, they're not.
Okay.
They're not. But they just re-signed Bradbury, so
that is true.
That's a lot of money there.
You know what's weird about that move, D-Mac, is just from 30,000 feet, he is $21 million in dead cap. Now he was $26 million in cash, in cap hit. So they save $5 million off the books for this year. But that's, to me, if you're that far down the track, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just going to keep him.
Right. So what does this mean now for like Philadelphia? Because this sort of puts them, because they weren't in a great position as far as salary cap to begin with, right? Can they, like, how can they afford to do this? I guess that's the question, is why now, right? Why do they do this now?
My guess would be, and I have to take a look at it real quick, that they are probably butted up against the cap, which they are. They got about $8 million in cap space right now. So, I mean, it's one of those things, too. And they got to sign a draft class. Just looking real quick what their situation looks like. They have to sign their draft class as well. So, $5 million is $5 million, I guess. You know, and look, guys, stop it. The WoodwardSports.com chat thread, stop it now.
It's not even a question.
Stop it.
Right, it's
Get some help.
Not even a question because of, you know, not only what it would cost, but
he's 32.
Signed. What's that?
He's 32.
Right, right. I mean, it's great. I love Darius Slay when he was here. I love the person. I love the fact that he embraced Detroit, but he doesn't fit on this team. And what was shown yesterday, right? Even we go off the air and you're going to give Mosley out of San Francisco coming off an injury, a 1-year contract.
Dude, you know what, D-Mac? I completely it's so wild, and this is moving so fast that I completely forgot about that one, too.
And I like that deal.
Yeah.
Right, which is a $6 million deal, prove-it deal on a guy that has been proven in the past to play. Yes, he's coming off injury, but Brad Holmes has proven in the past that he's not afraid of guys who have been hurt, sort of even coming out of the draft. So... yeah, and then you look at David Montgomery, right? And that's a signing, and everybody's upset because the writing's on the wall that Jamaal Williams ain't coming back. But again, it's the direction. I look at it a lot of the same way as Brad Holmes operates, a lot like Steve Yzerman. And if you want to look at your Jamaal Williams, like leaving with the Cubs, like your Tyler Bertuzzi, but it's part of the maturation and direction this team's going. So they're adding guys. He's being active. I said this all along. Let's wait till the free agency period clears and see what this sets us up and if we have a clear path towards what the draft will be. And I think it is. I think that, you know, whether you like it or not, but what's going on is what we expected. You sign Anzalone, and the defense, the guys you're putting around him, is to make him better. You know what I'm saying? To make all of them better. So we sit here today and what is the 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock, whatever we're done, when all this stuff goes down. But this Detroit Lions team, the moves that have been made, younger guys, age. Brett mentioned Slay, 32. We don't need that here right now, and it's been proven. So Brad Holmes is cooking just like you want him to, and I like the moves that he's made.
That's good foreshadowing of what's coming up at about 11:15. You talk about Brad Holmes cooking right now. Spenmo, you were on one on Twitter last night.
Yeah, I was feeling good.
You were on one.
Yeah, it was a good day.
Take me through it. The heavyweights 5 to 7,
yep.
and as I said to you, you guys have the most advantageous time slot right now because all this is always dropping at 4 o'clock, and then you guys slide up in there and reap the benefits of it all. What's the perception? You had 2 hours with the people yesterday. Where were they at?
They loved it. I mean, I love the Mosley signing. I think that's a great deal. Obviously, bringing back Kaminsky was huge. The Montgomery signing obviously happened way after we were off the air, but still, he's making good moves. Like this guy Mosley, he was lights out in 2021. Lights out, like playing all pro caliber level, and he was a starting cornerback for the best defense in the NFL for the first 5 weeks of the season before he got hurt. So I love it, and he should be ready.
You know how we always want a name, right? And you know what it is? But if you go back a couple of years, and because he was hurt last year, but that's a name that you recognize and say, hey, man, I've heard that name before on a good team, playing on a great defense, coming out of that culture, right? That's the one thing, too, coming out off of that defense and that culture that they have in San Francisco. You bring that with you, sort of reminds me of when I went to Calgary from Detroit, is that the reason we went there is they wanted me to bring that championship sort of mentality and the culture. So that is real. That has to be part of it. And you got to love the prove it deal. 1 year, $6 million. Isn't that like he wants to be here? Remember the conversation we had when Mike Parsons wants to be in Detroit? Yeah, maybe you kicked the tires on Jalen Ramsey and you didn't get the top linebackers, but you got a young prove it guy coming off an injury. Maybe that's one of the things. Right? We've seen before. Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell ain't afraid to either draft guys or bring guys in that maybe they're bumped up and they got to get healthy and then produce. So I like everything that they've done so far because it's set them up. And my question is do you see more of a clear pathway of what they're going to do in the draft? Right?
I think so.
Absolutely. Well,
I think so.
The more clear pathway is that I'm pretty certain they're not taking a corner at 6.
Yeah.
Which none of us wanted anyways. But the way that it's playing out is that with all the scuttlebutt about all the quarterbacks going up high, is that you're going to get one of the 3 guys that you want in Wilson, Carter, or Anderson. And that is absolutely beautiful.
It is lined up now to knock this draft out of the park with 6 and 18.
And here's the thing, Neal. We're coming out of free agency, which Brad Holmes, this isn't his forte. Right? Like, because he hasn't been able to cook before. Right? Now he's been able to simmer and cook. When he gets into the draft, that's when he makes a big splash. So you should be excited to be a Lions fan.
No question. WoodwardSports.com chat thread, K-Sports Live. Haven't seen him before. Appreciate you chiming in to Big D Energy. Slay going to want a lot of money, and he's 32. No thanks. Love him, though. And K-Sports, I think that's exactly the sentiment right there. And people talking about... Slay already got his money. Couldn't we get him on the cheap? Would you if you're Slay? I'm not. This is the NFL, man. Like, come on, guys.
And he's 32, so what's he got? One deal that he's got to go guaranteed money. Somebody's got to pay him 18, 20, right?
Maybe he won't get up to there.
Okay.
But
he's...
But when you're talking double-digit millions, I'm out.
You're right.
I'm out. That's the way that it is. I'm out. And... he's going to be in that ballpark, man. Is he still a good player? Sure. I don't want to be around for the decline, though. And look, again, we always say it with the qualifier. This is a Darius Slay friendly zone here on this show. I don't think there's any Slay enemies here. Appreciate the time he had. Sorry he got dicked over by the previous regime, because that's what happened. Make no mistake about it. But there's a man here now that's cleaning it up at a very, very quick pace. And when we come back from the break, I'm going to commandeer the floor, and I'm giving my statement on Brad Holmes. And there are a few out there that won't like it, but guess what? The show goes on. The show goes on. The haircuts go on too, D-Mac.
Absolutely. Get the Lady Jane's for the award-winning haircut experience. Register for once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win a down payment for your dream home. How does $200,000? Yes. $200K. Sal, get to Lady Jane's, register, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Saturdays at 1 p.m. Make sure you're watching WoodwardSports.com for our new show, Chompin' Puck.
He shoots! He scores!
With four-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty and Michael Gentry, Chompin' Puck is taking the Detroit hockey community and giving them a voice. Pros to Joes. You'll get the best Detroit hockey coverage around. Chompin' Puck. Saturdays 1 p.m. on WoodwardSports.com.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to WoodwardSports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to WoodwardSports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Off and running, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. Make sure you subscribe. Big D Energy podcast page, iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker, wherever you get them. Get it from there. Rate it, review it, subscribe, all that stuff. Rewind, fast forward, do all of it.
Before you get started, Spenny, you need to clip this one because I think one funky Lions fan just hit the home run before you get on your birthday diatribe. Yes. Some of the people in this chat need to call their mom and tell her she failed.
No, man,
love you guys
like
for being involved, and it goes just before you get started. The fact that you're all here, we're passionate. It has changed. I think what we can all agree on is it isn't the same old Lions. This is something different, and it is led at the top. Just like when I say hashtag Wise play 19 with the Red Wings, this is the Brad Holmes show.
And D-Mac, that's a great segue because I'm going to commandeer the floor here for a minute because I have an official statement on Brad Holmes and what's been going on with free agency. Obviously, we know what he's done through the draft and all those things. And for the people, and I saw a faction of these folks on Twitter yesterday that were upset that they moved on from Jamaal Williams. And you know what, folks? You can't have it both ways. You like the villain sweatshirt and all that kind of stuff? Then at times, the time comes to where you have to act like a villain. And that's what Brad Holmes is doing. The David Montgomery signing for me is significant. Maybe the most significant signing that Brad Holmes has made so far for this one reason. Things have changed here. Things have changed. We're not paying you for what you did. You're either part of the plan or you're not. You either want to be here or you don't. And that's it. And if you're not here for it, then you're in the way. And guess what? They're moving on. They're moving on from Jamaal Williams. In his estimation, a better player was available at a similar number, so that's what he went with. It's not about feelings. It's not about what people did last year. It's about what are you going to do now? This is something that this organization hasn't done for 60-plus years. It's not about a feel-good story. It's about winning and who it takes to win with. And hard decisions have to be made. And if you're good at your job, you make those hard decisions. So you want that? You want the villain sweatshirts, and you want signings in free agency, and you want names that pop and moves that dazzle. Well, guess what? There you go. You got it. And for the anti-Brad Holmes faction out there that says, well, he can't get it done in free agency and stuff like that, are you not entertained now? Are you not entertained? You can go with 35-year-old names and do all that kind of stuff. He's interested in winning football games and winning a division with a team that's the betting favorite to win the division. And he wants to put them up to the top. And he wants to win playoff games and compete for championships. And he's made those moves. Are they sexy? Did they make you feel good? Maybe not. You know what they all are? They're good football players. And I know we love the anime and all that kind of stuff. Yes, and I know we love the crying in the post-game interview. Yeah. And I get it. And that's cool. But guess what? It's about winning. It's not about feeling good. I've been starved for this with this organization. Forever. I've been starved for this. No more soft Damian Woody contracts and stuff like that. Dogs! Get dogs in here! We're going after this now. It's set. He's ready to roll, D-Mac. Let Brad Holmes cook.
I don't even understand the question about really the contract. He sat here and said, what is Jamaal Williams going to get, right? 2 years, $8 million, $8.5, whatever. And you're paying a 3-year, $6 million against the cap for a running back that you've seen in your division, that you've played against at least 4 times, that you know what it is. To me, this is Brad Holmes going, I want this guy. Right behind. There was a stat about yards after the hit or taking hits or whatever like this, where David Montgomery was top of the league. You look at, here's the one thing. Do you think, here's the question you have to answer. The touchdowns that Jamaal Anderson provided you yesterday, and there was a great, if you go on Twitter, somebody put up a great stat about how long his runs were.
They were all 1 and 2 yards.
17, 12, 7, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 3, 1, 1, right? David Montgomery it runs hard downhill too. Can we agree that he is one of the under the radar running backs in the league? Because every time he runs hard downhill, right? He ain't your side to side guy. He's your power guy that can run through guys. So to me, do you give up any goal line, any short yardage with this running back? Absolutely not. You probably improve because he can be in there in different situations for all 3 downs. To me, at the end of the day, it's like I feel about Steve Yzerman. Brad Holmes made this decision. It's his call. I trust him. He knows better. What you're talking about is we're here to win now. It ain't the same old lines about guys coming here just to get that last contract. That's why Slay's not coming back, guys, because we're not that place anymore. This was 5 years ago. You can expect him to come back, but now it's different. And the things that Brad Holmes is doing with the salary cap, exactly what you said. Let him cook.
One funky Lions fans. Jamaal Williams equals Brandon Inge. I wouldn't quite go that far, but
you brought up the great point.
But it's in the same cookbook, though, Spenny. It is.
Similar, yes.
Is that fair?
That's fair.
That's okay.
You brought up the great point, right? You look at what Saquon Barkley, $10 million. Christian McCaffrey's $11 million. Is David Montgomery 60% of these guys or their production or whatever? Absolutely.
Can he do what Jamaal Williams did last year? I would say more efficiently.
More, you can do more.
100%.
Yeah.
Like what?
This is what you've done, right? In my opinion, right? The DeAndre Swift question about availability doesn't matter because you got a guy that's going to play all the downs. Now, are you a better team with Swift? Yes, you are, because of what he brings to the lineup. But this only makes him better. But it's not going to be when you miss Swift, you miss that much out of the running game, because David Montgomery's proved that he can be that runner in this league.
No, and WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Detroit Sports Talk says, then why did he keep Anzalone? He's a bum. Oh, you mean the dude that was in the top 20 in the league in tackles last year? Real quick.
And didn't you answer that yesterday? Because is Anzalone 1/4 of Trey Edmonds, where you're not going to pay your guy?
Yes, he is.
Right?
And there's a Trey Edmonds simp in this room that agreed with that statement.
Absolutely. Where you got him at 25% to put everything around him, so you were able to go get Mosley and Sutton and sign Montgomery and do all this other stuff. The Anzalone thing makes sense because you can explain the why. You can explain the why. And that was the guy that, okay, so he got overpaid or you're upset about what had to go in. But enabling him to go there enables you to put the rest of the team around it.
And look, I'll go back to it too. And I'll bring in Spenny, because Spenny's a big Levante David guy, as am I.
Yeah.
Who had more tackles last year, Spenny?
So am I.
Alex Anzalone had more tackles than Levante David. I'm not saying he's a better player. I'm saying it's the ballpark, man. And whatever you want to say, like this coaching staff that everybody loves, AG, Aaron Glenn, your words, everybody. You love this staff. Anzalone was top 20 tackler in the league in his defense. So why would you not value that? To say he's, quote, a bum, that's misinformed.
He had a great year last year.
He did. He had a great year. Now, could there be some regression to the mean? Certainly there could be. Or could it be that the coaching staff realized how to work with him and let him cook? Could it be? I'm just asking the question. Is that a possibility?
It is very possible.
So maybe that's it, guys. Let Brad Holmes cook. What is he not giving you? For real, that's a real question. D-Man, what is he not giving the people? What is he not giving this franchise? I was starving for draft hits.
A playoff victory. That's
loading.
Exactly,
loading.
We're on
the
our way.
betting favorite to win the division.
It just takes time. You know, I mean, we see what Brad Holmes is building, what he has built, moving towards the draft. So, I mean, you look at all the moves that are made, and obviously, you know, being a big part of it and making moves that improves your team, right? Like David Montgomery behind this offensive line, right? Where you could do that. What would Jamaal Williams' numbers be behind the Chicago line last year? You know what I'm saying? That there's no comparison that you improved yourself at running back. It also tells me that you're probably out for a running back in the first or second round. Maybe you pick somebody up later in the draft, but no corner, no running back, defense, or offensive line, offensive line. He's showing you how he's gonna cook, and he's making the money work.
And I'm calling an audible on the fly for the next segment too, because guys, I see the path. I see the path in the draft right now, and it's making my britches tingle a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like I see the path. We can blow this thing up. We can blow this thing up. Spenny, I'm on one right now.
What's your birthday? You're allowed.
Yeah, well, it's great. Guys, this is where I'm coming from with this, though. And again, I see some negativity out there. I'm salty. Says I don't want to hear this ish when he's not available in the middle of the year. Hey, we gonna see. I'm salty. We gonna see. Is he gonna take the same type of punishment here that he took in Chicago? No, he's not. We will see. And oh, by the way, I'm going to double down on your running back, too, as we take a spin through the first round of the draft now, and I want everybody's input on where you're going with it, because I think we can have that talk now. I think it's time to have that talk, because we've kind of seen the dust. I think we've seen the dust settle for the Detroit Lions as far as free agency goes this year, and we can see the path. And Brandon Katz says Brad Holmes hasn't won a single playoff game. Well, you know, again, it's hard to win playoff games when your highest paid free agents are Trey Flowers and Jamie Collins. You can tell me what you think. I'm telling you what we know, because those two were the Lions' highest paid free agents last year. And guess where they didn't play? Here. That's factual.
Sexual.
That's past factual. That's sexual right there, Brett. You can't argue that point. You can't argue that point. You're gonna tie up 10%, almost 10% of someone's salary cap on two dudes that don't play. Tell me more. Tell me more about how you're supposed to win. Please do that. And I'll tell you more about Cintron. That's right, the official energy drink of the Red Wings right now. An exclusive offer for Woodward sports fans with the limited edition Red Wings 6-pack. Guys, you've been wanting to try Cintron. We talk about it every single day here. Here's your opportunity. $15, free shipping to your door. Boom, that's it, that's all. You get to sample every single flavor of Cintron. That's right, the cranberry, the classic, the sugar-free, all in one Red Wings theme package delivered right to your door for $15. Guys, come on. What are we doing here? Great taste, lasting energy, premium ingredients, all of it with Cintron. Go to drinkcintron.com/Woodward. Again, drinkcintron.com/Woodward. $15 right to your door. You know what? Why wait? Drink it. Live it with Cintron.
Oh, yeah. WoodwardSports.com, Home Bracket Challenge, Gardner White. You heard about it, too? Be on the way like me. Lazy Boy section. It's this way. It's almost tournament time, so you know what that means. Go to WoodwardSports.com. Sign up now for the Bracket Challenge, because you might be able to win some of these Lazy Boys or $1,000. You never know. I'm just saying. See you there. Gardner White, the only local Michigan furniture store. You got to come check them out. Lazy Boy, that's my section.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization, we serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle, baby, talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Neal Ruhl here for Custom Health Centers. Our own Ryan Ermanni has started his voyage with Custom Health Centers. He got ripped overnight. It was that quick. Now we're playing, but he is down, new updated total, down over 18 pounds, I was told by DMAC, Darren McCarty, the Minister of Accountability. That's it. That's all right there. That's enough for you. When DMAC puts a stamp of approval on it, that's enough for you. But anyway, if you still need more convincing, over 20,000 people, 20,000. You could have, man, that's 5 Michigan NIT games, 5 crowds worth. What, 4,000 apiece, right, Sam Flannel? There wasn't 4,000 at that game yesterday. No. But there's been over 20,000 success stories with Custom Health Centers. They've helped former professional athletes, line kicking great, Pro Bowl MVP Eddie Murray, Rick Mahorn, NBA champion, and Detroit bad boy Mahorn's down over 50 pounds with Custom Health Centers. You can be next. Call Dr. Jason and Custom Health, 844-789-8446. Again, 844-789-THIN. It's Custom Health Centers. Anything going on here?
I don't know.
Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained? We are doing it, and it's a lot of fun right now. This is fun, everybody.
I think it's a great point, too, by the chat thread and brought up. Luis brought it up, a bunch of different people, is that the free agency is still going on. There could be some restructuring done, maneuverability with some contracts, so we'll see how that plays out in the watch to see, because you see every few $1 million matters, because what do you need to keep in the tank for your draft class?
About 12-ish, between 12 and 13, because the Lions have 2 first-round picks.
Where are we sitting right now after all these moves that we've done? We're still in good shape.
Well, because they haven't processed yet, so they can't. So I don't know the structure, so we can't.
Right.
You know, I don't know what the breakdowns are and stuff like that. So I read somewhere David Montgomery's first-year cap hit's going to be like $1.8 million. So you know what the Lions are doing right now, in effect? They're spending some of next year's $100-ish million in cap space, because they're gonna middle load a lot of these deals. That's how they're gonna do it. So this is what you asked for. This is what we wanted. We wanted moves. We wanted signings. We wanted villain sweatshirts.
Shots.
Yeah. Lasers.
Pew, pew, pew.
Fireworks. We wanted. That's exactly what we wanted. But yes, there are still some things that can be sorted out, because Charles Harris would be a candidate to be restructured. You could probably squeeze $3-ish million out of him. Aquara still sitting out there.
Vitae's
still sitting out there.
Which is there's a couple like surprising that when we went through the list of how to obtain money, there's still, like you said, those 2 guys where you have flexibility. The fact that nothing's been done yet, does that tell you that you think that they'll stay part of it, or do you think something will be done? I guess my question to you is Brad Holmes done, or are we going to hear something else by the end of the day today? Either another player, restructuring, something that becomes cap friendly. I guess my question is, Neal, what do we need to do between now of the free agency and as the ending period to get set up, like you said, for the draft, where this could be the fact that he's going to do it?
The Lions did restructure Charles Harris.
They did already. Okay.
Yeah, they saved about $3 million in cap space.
All right, so there, I spoke it into existence. Yeah. Did it happen right after the second I said it? Before?
No, it happened this morning.
Oh, did it really? Okay, so I missed that one. My apologies. Yeah. There is not one person that can keep up on all this. No. It is not. I gave up. Yeah. Like this morning, I shut everything off and just ran.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, I just started running. That was it. This is going to be a dual segment right here. I can tell already. Now I will do this. I'm not one of these people that's just going to phone it in and do a mock draft every day. Not doing it that way. However, when new information presents itself, Sam Flannel,
you're allowed to change your opinion.
And I think now is the time. I think now is a time just to dip our toe in the water, D-Mac, and take a look. I'm not going through every pick because I don't care and you don't care. You don't care who the Colts are taking at 4. I mean, I do. I mean, we do. That's a bad statement. We do care who the Colts are taking at 4. We don't care who the Falcons are taking at 8. Let's just say that, all right? So we're going to spare you all that. I will bring in the Young Bucks and I will go to the Minister of Accountability. That's how we're going to do this. Is it fair to say some combination of Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, sad to say Will Anderson, and another quarterback will go?
Yes.
That's fair.
Anthony Richardson.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can do 3 quarterbacks and Will Anderson.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So that would take us to Seattle. What's your gut saying, Spenny?
Tyree Wilson. They signed 2 defensive tackles yesterday.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go with that. That's an educated guess, right? That's all we're doing.
What was his educated guess?
Tyree Wilson, because the Seahawks signed 2 defensive tackles yesterday.
Okay. Now, is Seattle, because they re-signed Geno Smith, are they out on Richardson? Are they out on that? Because
I don't think they're out on it.
But that's what I'm saying. Isn't Seattle, like, we can pretty much the first 4 picks, and I agree with you guys that Will Anderson will probably be the first defensive guy off the board, right? Obviously, with what Jalen Carter's done and Wilson's shooting up the board. But the whole thing to me is, what is Seattle going to do at 5? They're sort of like, because they could go quarterback, but they also could take one of your defensive guys that you want, right? So, but at the end of the day, one of the guys is going to fall to you. Because I believe that 3 out of the 4 quarterbacks are going to go in the first 5 picks, right? We can agree on that. So no matter what, and especially if you, like, would you say that Wilson sort of shot up the board defensively, like he's sort of the one of the bells of the ball? But when you look at more tape like this, you look at system that he played in, you look at the double teams and sort of the one-man defensive crew. Like this is a guy who sort of had to do the show by himself. So you're in a great spot. It's the teams ahead of you because here's the thing, Neal, that might happen is that Seattle does go, say, with Anthony Richardson or something like this, and then you have a choice.
Right.
I really do think Jalen Carter is going to fall to you.
They're not out on a quarterback. The Geno Smith thing, I know that, we're conditioned to see 3 years, $75 million. One of the people in the sports financial world I listened to really broke this down. Actually, Mike Giannetti, the guy that runs Spot Track, really broke this down about how these contracts that come out are as much of an infomercial when the numbers drop as anything else out there in the world. Because the agents run and they report the number to Adam Schefter. This is the game, everybody, just to let everybody inside. They run and report the number. So the Daniel Jones is a good one. Mm-hmm. 4 years, $160 million. That's what Adam Schefter gets from the agent because on paper, that's what it is. But the reality of the situation is if the Giants want it to be, it's a 2-year, $82 million deal.
And that's why, and to Geno Wilson, which is even, or Geno Smith, even in Seattle, it's even less.
Correct.
The guarantee, that's why, to me, outside shot is the way that contract is set up. They only have him there this year, next year. That's set up for another quarterback.
I highly doubt he sees the 3rd year.
But that's what
Seattle.
I'm saying. So isn't now the time with one of these quarterbacks that they can hide, like an Anthony Richardson, if somebody doesn't, go off the board? I wouldn't put it by Indianapolis, or to Carolina to go out and get. But what I'm saying is that to me, it smells like they're going quarterback.
They could. They're not out.
And to the point of what Spenny said about how them solidifying up their defense, a lot of ways. You look at so they're not going to drop the corner again, right? You know what I mean? Up high like that. So, the writing's on the wall. It goes to show you. And you're still, too, outside, right, with Brad Holmes. The guy might be there that somebody can't refuse. there might be another quarterback there, right? And then you're gonna get calls, and I like that too. I know a lot of people are saying, don't trade back or do whatever. I think whatever Brad Holmes decides to do to make this team better, if he can move back, he'll only do it if he can get the guy he knows he wants.
And Rad already sees where I'm going with this because he's already volunteered. I'll be Jalen Carter's chauffeur. No more issues. So there is that out there as well. Remember, get Rad's contact information, everybody, and get him on there. And for me, again, because Geno Smith, if you really want to boil it down, they have an out after this year. They have I can say this year now because at 4:00 it is this year.
That's fair.
They have an out after this year where it would provide some cap relief. Now, obviously, you prefer not to have that dead money on your books, but you do have an out. It is very flexible for the team. So they are not out on it. However, Seattle is proven to be a good organization. Is that fair?
That is fair.
That's very fair, which is the contract that they have Geno Smith on. I'm 50-50. I've heard that, what you probably heard, that they love Tyree Wilson. But I've also heard the details of the Geno Smith contract, which tells me they like him, but they just want a date. You know what I'm saying?
Right, and it's more or less here's a little something for the effort and a little guarantee, the money that you're gonna make for a job well done. But Geno Smith ain't the future Super Bowl quarterback for Seattle, is he? Seattle doesn't think that.
Right.
He's keeping it warm.
Unless he rolls out and is like the second best quarterback in the NFC next year, then you can't ignore it. But then you have the ability to keep him for 2 years. Sounds familiar. Really flexible, isn't it, for Seattle?
Wow.
That's really weird.
Wow. Who's that sound like?
I don't know. Somebody remind me.
Not sure. But regardless, you have to surround, hopefully the team surrounds them with talent. Oh, my gosh, they do.
Detroit Germ has a good one. But whatever you do, don't let the Bears draft Carter. And after this break, we're going to do it. We're doing our first mock draft, kind of post-free agency deaths. I mean, obviously free agency's not over, but I think we can all agree the dust is probably settling right now. So I want instant reaction to it, and we're going to do it because I'll have the pick when we come back. And it isn't even this pick. It's the next one that I give you at 18 that's really going to drive this MFer out of the park. A lot like if you went and got a lobster roll for lunch.
Yeah, I mean, there's only one place to go if you want to drive out of the park with a lobster roll, and that's Cousins Maine Lobster. Because Cousins Maine Lobster brings the best of the Maine coast to Detroit. Try their variety of sweet, succulent Maine lobster menu items at their 2 food trucks rolling around the city. You can find their event schedule on cousinsmainelobster.com and through their mobile app where you can easily order ahead and earn rewards. So make sure you tap in whenever you can because it's Cousins Maine Lobster.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you want to know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
What's going on, guys? Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real expert professional technicians who take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. But I need you to call Guardian Alarm today. The number, 1-800.
Stay out.
24/7 professional monitoring call anytime, day or night. Know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as needed, but I need you to call the number 1-800.
Stay out.
Technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work. And people, yes, human beings, people who have been proven to care just like they care. Some of us wonder why. About Sam Flannel's flannel protection. How many straight days of flannel protection, Sam?
233.
Woo. 233 straight days of flannel protection provided by Guardian Alarm. If you have something that is as personal to you or even on the business front, please give Guardian a call. The number 1-800.
Stay out of the Michigan basketball program, Joey Baker. Whatever you do, NCAA, do not grant that guy a 6th year.
Jesus, Guardian Alarm. Man. Your local security experts. Tell them Big D Energy. We sent you.
We are off and running. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here with you. Happy to have y'all along for the ride. If you're just checking out Woodward for the first time, welcome. You can subscribe to the podcast version of this show on your preferred podcast provider, our iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker, wherever it is. And you can rewind, fast forward. I gave my official statement on Brad Holmes at about 11:15. You can go back and listen to that again. I'm not playing around with this, guys. I'm not. Somebody said I was yelling at kids in the mall. No, I'm yelling at you.
That was King Horse.
Yeah.
He's the GOAT.
Yeah. I'm yelling at you. That if you got questions or any Brad Holmes slander, you wanted moves, you wanted villain sweatshirts, you got them. There you go. You happy? F your feelings. It's about winning football. That's what it's about. And if a better opportunity presents itself, you go ahead and take it. Speaking of King Horse, he said, Braylon Cintron commercial is my favorite commercial. Watching Bray steal the Cintron. I'm not scanning Ish. He scanned it. Right?
2 for 4.
You're the self-checkout guru.
2 for 4. If it's, for me, it's free.
Yeah. You're the self-checkout guru. Was that proper scannage?
Limited items.
Okay.
He got through. He wasn't sitting there dicking around. He waited till he walked out of the store to open it up. It gives my seal of approval on it, no doubt about that. We're talking mock draft. I called the audible, and the reason it's relevant right now is because of what we've seen and what we've seen happen, namely from other teams. Spenmo brought up the great point. Seattle Seahawks signed 2 defensive tackles. I don't think they're taking Jalen Carter. Can we agree?
Probably not.
Okay. You can argue whether or not they're going quarterback or not. So here we are. And you know where I am with this, Spenmo. And if they don't take him, I am. And we are taking Jalen Carter. I'm getting big dudes.
Yeah.
Linemen. Disruptors on the inside, the interior of the defensive line. I don't care about feelings. I don't care about being charged with 2 misdemeanors. I don't.
I want Jalen Carter.
I want Jalen Carter. I want to win football games. I'm not asking him to pick me up from the bar after hours or anything like that. I'm not asking that. Go win football games.
Yes.
That's what I want. That's what everybody wants. If you're honest about it, if you're honest with yourself, that's what you want. DMAC, I go to you, the Minister of Accountability. Do you sign off on this move? I gave you the reasons.
No, absolutely. I mean, if I have my choice, it's Jalen Carter. It's the first 2 picks are on either the defensive line or offense. It's solidifying what already makes you strong. Right, we always know our offensive line, but we need those dogs in the defense. We need guys to get in there to help Hutchinson and Houston and all these younger, talented guys, and Malcolm Rodriguez. You know, the whole thing, what do we say nowadays? It's right. It's the pressure on the quarterback that makes it easier on your secondary and on your linebackers that don't have to cover. What it's telling me is speed is a huge key. Timing and stuff like this. It's not only athletically, defensively, and offensively, but they got players, and it's all about timing. So Jalen Carter right up the middle. Obviously, I'm with you, Neal. Is that hopefully that everything falls. Now, when you do a bunch of different mock drafts, sometimes he's there and sometimes he's not. Right. So I guess if we agree on Jalen Carter's our guy, no matter what.
It's just
what
it's
happens
all lining
if he's
up.
not there?
Yeah,
what's the alternative?
I don't see a path where he's not, though, because the quarterback teams are the quarterback teams, right? Like those are undeniable.
So you say that, and I've messed around with some mock
drafts
and stuff, and 2 out of the 3 that I've done is Seattle's taking them at 5. You know what I'm saying? But also too. You also got.
But that was before they signed 2 defensive tackles in free agency,
and that's a good point. So right now
things change.
Absolutely. Now, but the question is what if he's not there? right? Is it an automatic? It's either Wilson, obviously Anderson, or Carter.
It's one of the three. It's one of the three. And the moral of the story with this pick for me is I am pushing you that way. In every scenario on the football field.
Oh.
When we have the football, I'm pushing you that way. When you have the football, I'm pushing you that way. This is what I am doing. I am pushing you that way, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, that way.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
And I'm putting it in place to do it. And I'm putting the dudes out there that can do it. So I'm getting one of the three, no matter what. Now, a little more sexy to get Will Anderson, yeah. Maybe a little less sexy to get Tyree Wilson, yeah. But Jalen Carter, I think, is the one that fits best for this team at this space in this time. Because remember, you talk about edges. The Charles Harris thing, he showed us before. Like, we've seen it. We didn't see it last year.
Here's my question. Right, and maybe this is not the right time for it or whatever, but is there an opportunity, because the Raiders are drafting behind you, right? And the name that's not off the board in front of you as a quarterback is Anthony Richardson. Is there an opportunity to be able to trade and get the same guy that you want and to use, like, are you in a position, is it slowly folding into maybe like that sort of position? Like, does Brad Holmes have the cachet to bluff the Raiders that they take Anthony Richardson? If that's not you know what I mean? With the and only because it's the Raiders sitting behind you, if Richardson is their guy. Like, these are different conversations also too about the next level of your GM, correct?
Well, are you able to convince them that you're talking to the Falcons or to the Titans?
That's what I'm asking you.
Because that's really
because you started on
or the
Brad
Packers.
Holmes, right? This Brad Holmes. I would think that the ish would be more to, yes, you probably could convince. Like, is Brad Holmes turning into like the respect around the league, right? It's not like, and I just look back to if this was Matt Millen or Bob Quinn, joke. You're going to tip your hand, right? I think that there's some savagery when it comes to the draft, just like Steve Eisman, when he's sitting around the draft table and the owner's got to sit at the same table, and Steve Eisman knows that the owners from another team is looking at his GM. It just sets up to me that the Raiders could do some Raider dumb things, and we could be the beneficiary of it because Brad Holmes, again, as your GM, not only the draft, not only free agency, but these little moves here.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Dave Schultz, Neal, that needs to be on a T-shirt at Woodward. F your feelings. It's about winning football games. Brandon Katz, Neal's comments are irrelevant. Teams will trade up to get Carter. Okay, cool. Then I'm getting Will Anderson or I'm getting Tyree Wilson. Like, I'm locked in. It's the math of the situation. 3 quarterbacks are going, no matter what. We know that. Possibly a 4th. So we're getting one of them, man. And again, this feeds into my I'm going to push you that way theory.
Yeah, that way. I used to trap out the subway.
Yeah. Let's do it, Spenmo. Let's do it. Mike Bell, I'm popping a bottle of bubbly if we get Carter. And you know what, Mike? Oh. I am too.
Yeah.
I know Spenny will no matter who we take.
Yeah. I'm gonna be popping a bottle regardless, but if it's Carter, it'll be.
Here's the thing, right? Draft party we're gonna be at, so I want you guys to decide what would the shot be to get, right? Because it'd have to be the Jalen Carter victory shot that you guys want to do, so it's something special for the moment to remember, because I envision that we're all sitting around. Shots. He gets drafted, then all you guys go to the bar, or we got the shots, but what is the shot to commemorate? Because it's sort of, if they get Carter, right, it's on like Donkey Kong.
I'm always down with for
some
Don Julio.
Spending, it could be a Patron moment.
Patron, Don
you know what
Julio,
I'm saying?
yeah.
It could be one of those Patron. I want it to be memorable. Maybe it could be one of these bourbon. Bourbon next level.
Yeah. Spenmo, you and I are going top shelf.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be memorable, because I guarantee
you and I off to the side,
yep.
away from everybody
else. Accountability, dude. I got to dial in on the karma.
Yes.
Right. That's karmatic right there, and we could be
Detroit
looking
Arrow
back
said
for
Johnny
years
Walker
that
blew.
That was the moment.
That's aggressive.
What
did he say?
Johnny Walker Blue.
All right, let's do it. Whatever. If you get Jalen Carter, we got to shoot big.
We do.
I'll bring the bottle in. Let's go.
I took a wines and spirits class at MSU, and our final for that class was a Johnny Walker Flight, and we tasted all of them, every bottle from black to blue, twice, and it was students pouring the shots, so they were like doubles. I was walking home from class. I was like, "Oh man!"
Hey, quick story. Hey, quick story, right? So Dom Perignon, right?
Yeah.
The bottle. I don't know how it came across, but I got a bottle of that when I was 12 years old, right? Or what? No, whatever, like this. And it was the bottle that we saved for when I was drafted. Right, we took it to Montreal, the same bottle, sat in the house for 7 years or whatever. Took it with the whole family and cracked that bottle at the draft party to whatever. So the Dom Perignon, right, to whatever was, if we think back to the family, that was in the draft. All my cousins and everybody in the hotel room with my jersey celebrating it, spraying. Oh, it was awesome.
That's
I don't
awesome.
think we drank.
So dope.
I think we drank a little bit of it, but sprayed a whole bunch of it.
That is cool, man.
So that's what I'm looking for, that moment that you can think back. Because even now to this day, 30-some years later, you know, it's one of the things that my cousins and I, we still talk about.
Yeah. You know what's funny is you got that Spenmo look on your face. I always search for that moment with people. No, I love that, though, D-Mac. Yeah. I do, because you can't fake it.
I went right back there, right?
Yeah.
And no, but it's I think that it's a lot of times is that the reward, right? Because it's the guys, the destination's an oasis. You're a human being. You always want more. Mm-hmm. What do I mean by that? Well, all I want to do is play in NHL. Then all I want to do is win a Stanley Cup. Then all I want to do is win another one. Then all I want to do is win another one. Then all I want to do is win another one. You get my point, right? You're a human being. Your goals will always change. So enjoy the journey. And to me, a whole draft party room full of people enjoying whatever it is for that moment is going to be special, because I feel it, Neal. Like, it's turning. Like, I'm I only go by, I'm an empath. I only go by the vibe of what's happening, and that wheel is turning, and it's real.
Wait till we do the next pick. Just wait. Just wait till we do the next pick, D-Mac.
Just wait on it.
They should play that when walking to Big Boy for Seafood Fest, because it's one and the same. It's pretty much the same feeling, and it's back right now. Seafood Fest at Big Boy. Catch it while you can. Some of the favorites during Lent are there. The shrimp Alfredo, shrimp stir fry, and the all-new fish sandwich. And don't forget the staple, the offensive tackle of it all, the all-you-can-eat fish fry buffet on Friday nights. Do what I do. Get some extra tartar sauce for the fries, too, all right? Quit being stupid around here. Let's get real and get the tartar sauce for the fries, too. Get to your local Big Boy today.
Saturdays at 1 p.m. Make sure you're watching WoodwardSports.com for our new show, Chompin' Puck.
He shoots! He scores!
With four-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty and Michael Gentry, Chompin' Puck is taking the Detroit hockey community, giving them a voice. Pros to Joes. You'll get the best Detroit hockey coverage around. Chompin' Puck. Saturdays 1 p.m. on WoodwardSports.com.
When it comes to making your haircut truly an experience, there's no better place than Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Come to any one of our 26 Metro Detroit locations for an award-winning haircut experience and qualify for a chance to win a down payment for your dream home up to $200,000. Our precision haircut and talented stylists will have you looking good, feeling good, and give you a chance to change your life forever. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Neal Ruhl here for Chili Peppers Tanning, where you find the cleanest salons in the D, spotless sanitized rooms, and trained and certified tanning professionals. Join the Pepper Club. Get all the best deals. they'll restructure the competitors' prices by at least $5. Hey, you got to stay with the times, right? Don't forget, you can pick up the Australian Gold Designer Skin, Cal Tan, and Spencer Raxter's favorite, the Swedish Beauty Lotions.
Oh, yeah.
All of them fit under your salary cap. Go to chilipepperstanning.com. You'll find the hottest deals, the hottest bulbs, the darkest hands. They are your vitamin D headquarters, 27 locations, and more on the way. Go to chilipepperstanning.com.
Chili Peppers, Dan.
Pulling up on the second hour of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, explosive viewership today. We're happy to have you all with us. My name is Neal Ruhl. That guy over there, you may know him. He's Darren McCarty. He won cups and stuff with the Detroit Red Wings. Only 4 of them, though. Brandon Katz wasn't impressed. He should have won 12 of them, D-Mac.
Well, I think Brandon Katz is more impressed than Sam Flannel, but that's okay.
I think so, too. We have Sam Flannel.
That's saying a lot.
We have Spencer Raxter as well. All of you in the WoodwardSports.com.
I've been very impressed with Sam Flannel.
I have, too. No doubt.
That when you killed D-Mac's legend face-to-face with him, that was impressive.
Real talk.
That. Yeah.
Wasn't based in reality, but it was real talk.
I didn't agree with it, but it was very impressive.
But I give you credit for stepping up to the plate, no question. But hey, you guys like the show? Subscribe to the podcast wherever you get your podcasts: iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Podcast. Your thoughts on there? So we just did a mock draft, a post free agency, and I had it kind of flowing through my veins. We went with Jalen Carter. I laid out the case. And do we agree it's a very realistic possibility?
Yes.
It's fair, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Realistic. We laid it all out. 3 quarterbacks are going ironclad. Maybe a 4th.
Yeah, there's 3, 100%. I think the 4th. I think the outliers will Levis.
Yeah, and that is true. So we'll see what the Seahawks do. I think we could all agree that as it sits right now, and people are talking about, well, they'll trade up. As it sits right now, Seattle signed 2 defensive tackles in free agency.
Mm-hmm.
They're out of the market for them, guys. But not me. I want to push people that way.
Yeah, that way.
Yeah. We're definitely doing it. So that's where it's at. Alex Shea, by the way, said you need to get some rabbit hole bourbon. Alex, that makes you a legit bourbon dude, because low-key people don't talk about that. I haven't tried the rabbit hole yet, so I await your review.
There's a bourbon you haven't tried?
Yes.
Wait, what? Oh, stop the press. Where's that from?
Yes.
Is that that's a good one? Is that top shelf?
That's what they're saying.
Wow. I didn't know that. I would have brought you in free birthday.
It's like a mid-$50, $60 bottle. You know,
it's like when you guys were talking about eating the worm or whatever.
That means nothing to me, Neal. I liked Evan Williams back in the day. So, I mean, that doesn't tell you nothing.
Yes, King Horse. Breaking news. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have signed Baker Mayfield to a 1-year.
No.
Miles will be stoked. Wonder if he'll get to wear 12.
Yeah. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have signed Baker Mayfield to a 1-year, $8.5 million contract. Make sure you tune into the Bottom Line at 2 o'clock here on the Woodward Sports Network to hear Tom Mazaway say how he would rather have Baker Mayfield than David Montgomery.
Oh, yeah.
That's a realistic outcome,
right?
That's
definitely going to happen.
That's full on happening.
Yeah.
So there you have that. That's going down. Second round, or second pick for the Lions. Pick number 18 as it stands. I know you guys are a little more versed in the mock draft than I.
Mm-hmm.
I, staying true to my form of pushing people that way.
Yeah, that way.
Here's where I'm going with it. And I will lay out the reasons for you after we do it. I am going with Osiris Torrance.
Oh!
The guard from Florida. Again, being consistent. I am in the business of pushing people that way.
Yeah, that way.
Be it defense or offense. And what am I doing with that? Why are you going with that, Neal? It's very simple. I'm solidifying the $6 million investment I just made in David Montgomery, who is one of the best in the league post-contact. Imagine a world where he doesn't have his first contact until he's 3 yards down the field or 4 yards down the field.
And isn't Montgomery, like from the eyeball test, he breaks more tackles in the backfield than anybody?
Yes.
right? You know what I'm saying? Like, it'll be interesting to see him with a top-notch offensive line. I'm 100% with you, Neal. That way we get both sides of pushing, right? We got the defensive push, the offensive push. That's where I'm looking. That'd be perfect. The guy from Florida, Osiris. If not, I'm still going defensive line. I think that Pittsburgh's cancer could still be there.
I wouldn't kill you on that.
What?
I wouldn't kill you for that one.
But that's where I'm leaning. Again, to your push, but to solidify something, right? And then you just saw you re-signed Buggs, right? You got Kaminsky. It's the rotation, right? You're building that rotation of guys that just won't get tired and will continually push guys in the backfield. And what will it do? It's going to make your cornerbacks better because the less time to cover. It's going to make your linebackers better. I think whichever way, right? To not kill, but the first two picks should be defensive line and offensive line.
Spenmo, I'm curious to get your take on it too, because here's the thought process behind it. Because I'm clipping Vaitai, who just had back surgery. You know, that's I'm clipping him, and I'm saving $7 million in cap space this year. And here's what I'm doing. I have all my offensive line who are hits, right? Ragnow, hit.
Yep.
Taylor Decker, hit.
Yep.
Obviously Sewell, gold jacket loading.
Jonah Jackson,
rock solid.
Yeah.
You see what I'm doing with this here? I'm staggering them too. Rookie deals. I'm keeping the rookie deal pipeline in the offensive line, and I am pushing you that way.
Yeah,
whether you want to do it or you're always going to make me laugh when you do that, dude. As the plan as I've laid it out to you, your thoughts?
I don't hate it.
Oh, but you don't love it. All right, let's go.
All right. Number 18, the Detroit Lions select wide receiver
Quentin Nelson,
TCU, Quentin Johnston.
Or Quentin Johnston.
I just think, like, if the deal can't get done with DJ Chark, you need a big body to put out there.
That's fair.
You got that 3 receiver, all on rookie contracts, trio, weapons, shots, explosives. Give me Quentin Johnston.
Lion Eyes, WoodwardSports.com chat thread says Brad prioritizes the trenches. So do I. Caleb Davis says big fan of a guard at 18. Robert 360 says it depends on Big V's health. Not my world, it doesn't. This is a business, guys.
Yeah.
F your feelings. Remember, we established this. Villain sweatshirts. It doesn't matter. Sam Flannel, where are you at with it?
You know what's funny? I actually like both of your picks. It wouldn't bother me if either of them came to fruition because Osiris Torrance, like you said, you can cut Big V, save about $7 million off the cap. It's a position where you just got David Montgomery. You can solidify that offensive line, have an even better one than you had last season. But then there's Quentin Johnston as well. He's a big body wide receiver. If there's any wide receiver I want to take that high with this team, with this personnel, I want a 6'5", 230-pound behemoth who all he does is catch passes and he's fast, good route runner, all of that good stuff. I've always been open to the idea of making our strength, which is our offense, even stronger. And if you already draft Jalen Carter at 6, with everything you've done in free agency with Sutton and Mosley, re-signing Alex Anzalone, re-signing John Kaminsky, Isaiah Buggs, 18 might be the time to make your offense that much better. So the best compliment I can give to either of you is I like your choice, Neal, and I like your choice, Spencer. Either one's good with me.
I already know who I'm taking in the second round, too.
Easy, guy.
I'm ready.
Easy. Don't kill the job, all right?
Ready.
Don't kill the job. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Blade Noltzwood says Dan Skipper was decent. Evan Brown was good. Evan Brown's a free agent, and he's looking at double-digit millions, perhaps. Approaching double-digit millions.
Signed, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, and these are like him and Skipper and whatever they proved the rotational guys, the guys that can come in and support, right? Like I like that. I like what you said about keeping that rookie deal on the offensive line going, rolling it over. So, Spenny, it's not the worst. Right, because you got to think that it's a caveat, and if you place Quentin Johnston in any category like Calvin, or that you think that he could be the durability in that guy, then I think that to your argument is that they will look at it, and I don't think it's same old Lions or Lions drafted Charles Rogers or back in the day. This would be an absolute weapon. Yeah. And to your point, right? You caveated that with if they can't come to a deal with DJ Chark.
100%.
Right? So that's 10, 11, 12 million.
Yeah.
Right there that you're going to work on a rookie guy. So if it falls that way and they do that, it's one of those things that in homes you trust.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I would be.
Let's Go Red Wings. Sparty says that's a lot of meat in the first round between Carter and Torrance. Exactly, Sparty. That's what I'm looking to do. I am making you go where you don't want to go on the football field. Whether you want to or not, you are going that way, Spenny.
Yeah, that way.
And those guys, hey, this way, that way, whatever like that, it's got kneecaps written all over it, don't it?
Mm-hmm.
Like all these guys, they got dogs written all over. We're talking about some dogs.
100.
I want dogs.
D-Mac, that's it too.
I want dogs.
I'm done dicking around.
No more nice.
There is nothing nice about this. No, nothing.
Time to roar. Instead of meowing, it's time to roar.
That's exactly what it is. Somebody earlier, it went past. It went past me. I couldn't catch the name. Somebody said, so you have Baker Mayfield and Andy Dalton in the NFC South. I wonder how that'll turn out.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Should go well. Should go well.
Battle of mids.
The more I think about it, though, D-Mac, I think we will be able to juice the Raiders out of something.
Think about because and you brought up why, Neal, and you explained to me why, because who's after them? You got Atlanta, right? And then you got the way that the draft plays out. Because here's the thing.
You got Atlanta, you got Tennessee. Tennessee's quarterback situation isn't handled.
You have that conversation where it's like
what's Green Bay doing at the quarterback spot?
Jordan Love.
That's what I mean. If the four don't go ahead,
what's Tampa doing at the quarterback spot? Baker Mayfield for a year. I'll expect your phone call.
The chosen one.
Yeah, I'll expect your phone call.
How long until Maz says he's finally got the perfect situation? I give it 5 minutes.
But here's the thing, Neal, right? Because it could be reasonable to have this scenario where you have Richardson and Carter sitting there, and then Vegas is going, well, we know you're taking Carter, and Brad Holmes is going, maybe not, and then them getting worried because I'm waiting to see what Atlanta says. Well, Tampa, I got to call them back, stuff like this. Who's the team that's going to panic out of those three teams, right?
Right, because it's even one of those things too, right? We're with Atlanta, who is directly after the Raiders. You see what I'm saying? Like,
it plays
they're
out
both
even
there. Who
more
are you going to
the
take?
way that it's setting up, the way the top of the draft will go with the quarterbacks and where you're
I love
sitting.
This. It's all set up, D-Mac.
And then at the end of the day, it's all set up because what? It was the same thing that I would say it's all set up when we had the 3rd overall pick, except the wrong guy was there. Now we're at 6, and it's all set up with the right guy there.
It's all set up.
Holmes.
It's a lot like if you're in the market for insurance. It's all set up for you.
Absolutely. Swiss it up, Buttercup.
Absolutely. It's all set up for Swiss Insurance. Be sure to check with Swiss Insurance this week for the commercial insurance review. Swiss can help make sure you have the proper coverage. Swiss Insurance. Give us a shot, and you won't be disappointed. Email them at mark@swissins.com. That is mark@swissins.com.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Appreciate all you tapping in here to the show. Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here with you every day, 11 to 1, Monday through Friday. The WoodwardSports.com chat thread. You see it just pinballing on the side of your screen. Jump in there. Sorry, can't get to everybody. Soft Jones says, I'm late, but I'm here for the Brad Holmes haters. Again, LOL. Soft Jones, go back to about 11:15. I addressed them.
Yeah, they got worked.
I addressed them, so feel free to go back there and get my thoughts. Good reason to subscribe to the podcast page, too. Rewind, fast forward, all of it. So wherever you get your podcast, rate, review, subscribe, all that stuff as well. Mike G says, DMAC, for Chomp and Puck, could you break down Michigan and Minnesota? I'll answer for you. No, we're not talking about Michigan, Minnesota. We're not breaking that down. We got Wings prospects that are being called up. We're not dicking around with Michigan, Minnesota, because it's all you got left to hold on to, because your baseball team stinks and they lost to Oakland, because your gymnastics teams lost to Michigan State, because your men's team is in the NIT, because the women's basketball team's about to lose to UNLV in a 6-11 matchup. Did I leave anybody out?
Well, and all I'll say to that is, like I said, email Chomp and Puck to Michael Gentry at gmail.com.
He might do it.
And, because nepotism is real. Because young Keenan Draper plays on that team. So I might peruse it for you. I might give you a couple minutes. Right? Nothing to do with Sam Flannel. I want you to know that. Nothing to do with him. All to do with Keenan Draper.
You did leave out that the Big Ten football now runs through Ann Arbor. That is true. And that's what's most important.
But that's where it stopped. That's where Big Ten football stops.
That's
right
fine.
there, that last Saturday in November. That's when Big Ten football's over.
Doesn't run through Columbus anymore. Runs through Ann Arbor.
Okay, so that's the narrative now?
It's the truth. It literally is the truth for the last 2 years.
So that cancels out the last 2 decades then? 2 wins?
No, it runs through them right now. It goes back and forth. When you win 2 in a row in dominating fashion and go to 2 consecutive college football playoffs, it now runs through Ann Arbor.
Okay, I'm just getting the ground rules.
And you know what? I'm looking down and we got a lot of people in the chat thread. So just so everybody knows, here at Big D Energy, when it comes from the Neal chair, it's factual. When it comes from the Sam booth, it's opinion. Just so we get it straight. That about sum it up?
It's not even remotely true, but that's okay.
What about this in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread from Austin Holler, who says, when has Brad ever been conservative in the draft? LOL. He traded up 20 spots last year to land J-Mo. And you know what? That's all on the table, Austin. I'm glad you brought that up, because that's all on the table. He essentially moved up 20 spots. What was it, basically a pick swap in the 3rd round?
Yeah,
it was just 20 spots for 20. Yeah. 20 spots for 20 spots, more or less, right? Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, he'll fiscally responsibly do it, which I like as well. And nothing's off the table.
Well, there you nailed it. If he makes those moves, the fiscal responsibility is there, right? How many teams or how many times this organization made the moves in the past that it wasn't? That's the key. He's got all the assets that he needs, right? And if he makes that move, you have to trust it because he's done his due diligence. Or they like players, right? Like they're not just going after, because I heard this name, right? Like everybody else are doing it like their fantasy draft. This is real. This has to do with money. This has to do with getting everything straight. But it's one of these things that they know the players that they want to be a part of this team. And unfortunately, guys that maybe we thought would be part of this team that are no longer part of this team. That's part of getting better. We just experienced the trade deadline with the Red Wings. Your teams are getting better. These things are going to happen, right? And you should get excited.
Absolutely. What I love about this, guys, and it always comes back to this. This is the thing that I really dig about what Steve Yzerman's doing. And for those of you that have watched the show for a long time, you already know this. But for those of you that are new, because the viewership's explosive right now, let me bring you up to speed with where I am. I love flexibility. They're not forced into anything. With the hit rate that he's had in the draft, with where they sit financially, and Steve Yzerman's this way too. He's not forced into anything. There is no desperation. If you guys really want to get granular with it, I believe that the only bad pick right now for the Lions to make at 6 is a cornerback. And It isn't exclusively because they signed a couple. It's because the number that a cornerback at 6 dictates salary-wise, which is some of the stuff that we talked about.
You'd be paying him just as much as Cam Sutton.
What's that?
You'd be paying him just as much as Cam Sutton for a rookie.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy talk, man, for what you don't know.
Yep.
That's the part.
That's the whole thing, right? The whole thing for everybody who says with Montgomery, you could have drafted a running back to whatever. You don't know. You have stats in a men's league, right? Guys that don't have stats that haven't played there yet, you don't even know their durability, different things like that. I think that, that's the biggest. Did you write this, Spenny, that Brad Holmes has like the conservative aggression, right? Where it's something that like he's going to make a move that benefits, right? And I think that's Brad Holmes operates more like Steve Yzerman than anybody else, right? As far as not being put in a situation, but he's somebody that can dictate. And I think that this draft will prove that because, Neal, more as we get to, because of the way that things are breaking down, the way that, teams are signing guys in free agency, they're cutting guys and stuff like this. The conversations, because of where you're sitting at 6 and who's sitting at 7, 8, 9, that's the heated up between free agency and the draft that we're going to hear about. And I think Brad Holmes is going to be entertaining offers, and whether he takes one or not, it's going to benefit this team tenfold.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread, and since we're having this discussion, and again, we get a lot of new people that are tuning in to the show, I'm getting a question. Tracy Sampman says, if Slay's released, how about a 1-year deal? And my question to that is with what? With what money? As the Lions are sitting right now, and the numbers are still flying in, because you need $12 million in cap space to sign your draft, because you have 2 first-round picks, so your draft class costs more than some other folks' draft class. And we're starting to rip through money now. Now, I know I like the way Brad Holmes is doing it. He's kind of spending a little of next year's tons of cap space. I think the Lions were in the 90-ish to 100-ish million in cap space for next year. So he's kind of middle-loading a lot of these deals to tap into that money now. But that would be my question. How does Slay fit financially? With what money? He's not coming here for the veteran minimum. It's still a business. You know what I'm saying? So if it's a gift, certainly I'll take it. But I'm not out there actively looking for it. I think a guy that was slated to make $26 million this year is going to be at the least a double-digit million guy, right?
Yeah, and here's the one thing, Neal, and LFG says it, and Sam, get ready with the Lions fans drop, because he says LFG says, I never in my lifetime ever thought I would see the level of hope among Lions fans.
Lions fans.
Seriously.
I know.
And to that point, to that drop, I will reiterate it. That lady needs her flowers. Sheila Fordham, because that's where it started. And I don't care, right? Of making the decision and bringing this in and letting these guys cook. That's the brilliance. So I agree, right? Because is this the most hopeful you've been, right, for moving forward? Because this isn't just we got to hit this window, right? We got to get in now, and we got to win this year, or we're done. No, this is the build. This is a build. This is a build.
Well, you know what's unique about that, D-Mac, is, and I know that we're up against it. I'm curious to get your thoughts on this. Is I think you are seeing Brad Holmes move with some urgency here, because again, going back to it, this happened way quicker than any of us thought it would. Like about halfway through the season last year, it just clicked and off they went. And I think when you're a GM in the National Football League and you have a gold jacket loading in Penei Sewell, and yes, Sam Flannel, I'll say this. Maybe a look at a gold jacket at the defensive end spot if he continues his trajectory.
He's window shopping. He's window shopping.
I'm not saying that you got to order the materials for Hutchinson.
No, but he's looking in the store and he sees it through the big pane glass window, and you're not shooing him away.
Now, I think this is going to be impactful here from Spenmo. Yes, Spenny.
I said it yesterday on Heavyweights. With these guys on the outside now, and Mosley and Cam Sutton, that can lock up receivers for 2-3 seconds at a time, If you put Jalen Carter in the middle and he's eating double teams, Aiden Hutchinson's going over 15 sacks next year.
Aiden Hutchinson what?
Over 15 sacks next year. If you put Jalen Carter in there with these corners, he's going to eat.
James Houston's okay too.
Yes.
Wow. Sam just lost his pants.
Yeah, let me just say I would
there?
probably have to call that doctor or that number for, if I have one for too long. 4 or 5 hours. That would definitely happen. That would definitely happen if Aiden Hutchinson had 15 sacks, but I don't hate
you wouldn't even fit in that booth.
Here's the question.
Flannel, you'd have the door open and you'd be doing it from back here.
Hey, so but here's Spenny. I think the bigger question, right, is how many does Hutchinson and Houston have combined? You know what I'm saying? When they learn how to play off each other, this is a combination where these guys are. What do you have?
Closer to 30
Could you have
than
25
20.
sacks between two guys?
Closer to 30 than 20.
Wow. Look at look at the big
okay,
kid
everybody.
in the booth.
Everybody.
Oh
if you get Jalen Carter,
here.
with these corners on the outside that can lock up a guy for 3 seconds, you put Jalen Carter in the middle, have him eat the double teams, shit'll be dangerous.
We're gonna reset. We're getting above our skis here.
I'm just saying.
All right, everybody, calm down.
155.
We have to burn off some energy. Planet Fitness. We're live from the Planet Fitness studios here at Woodward Sports. If you're getting a little too juiced up about the NFL draft, get on the treadmill at Planet Fitness, blow some of the steam off, and you can do it for just $10 a month for access to your home club. Want all the perks? Want all the bennies? Become a Black Card member. $24.99 a month. You basically own Planet Fitness. All right, guys, think about it. Use of all the amenities, the tanning, the hydro massage, all of it. Access to over 2,000 Planet Fitni around the world as well, with unlimited guest privileges. You can bring a guest with you every single day at Planet Fitness if you're a Black Card member. Don't do this. Don't be joining these gyms that are $50, $60, $70 a month that have a rock wall in there. What are you doing with the rock wall? Get on the treadmill, lift some weights, everything you need, tons of equipment at Planet. I've never had to wait for anything at Planet Fitness. It's goated on the gym sticks, guys. I don't know another way to say it. You want to become a member? Pull in the club. You're going to pass a couple on the way home, or jump on that computer. Go to planetfitness.com. Darren McCarty, it's Planet Fitness.
Where your fitness is essential.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Golf, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Woodward Sports Network, Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here with you every day, Monday through Friday, 11 to 1. Subscribe to the Big D Energy podcast page. Latest episode of the podcast goes right to your phone. Rewind, fast forward. I would advise you to do this. I would subscribe to it today, and I would go back and listen at about 11:15 this morning. I gave my official State of the Union with Brad Holmes, and the Jamaal Williams people and the people that are like, what's he doing? I addressed those folks. So you want to go back and catch that. I have a feeling you'll be seeing that around the social medias today as well. So, we're chopping it up right now. And Sir Juice says, just get Jake Moody at 6 and call it a day. You guys know I'm a Jake Moody simp. And I gave you the data on it before. Since you don't have a 4th-round pick, if you want him, you got to go get him. I'm telling you, we went through the data. I gave you all the kickers that get taken. There's always one. There's always one that goes in the top 4 rounds.
I'm not taking him in the 3rd round. I'm not doing it. I'm good with Bagley if it means I'm taking Jake Moody in the 3rd. Badgley.
You can't even say his name. That's why you got to go Jake Moody. No, hey, if you want to call it 5th round, whatever. I want the position address.
I'm doing the 5th round.
Okay,
for sure.
So you'll do it with the 5th round pick. Okay, fair. What if he gets taken though?
It sucks.
I'll be heartbroken.
Yeah.
I want a kicker for $700,000. That's money.
I wouldn't mind it for sure. That would be cool. But
that's my why.
Yeah.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Remember, jump in there. We'll get your thoughts out there. And Nicholas Duncan says, what if Stroud falls to us? Then we call the Raiders.
Oh, if any of those. Seriously, you're in the mix. If you don't think, it's like we're talking about 3 guys, going in the top 5, that means one's left. They're calling. You're getting calls on a quarterback no matter who it is. If it's Stroud, if it's Levis, if it's Richardson.
Stroud falls to us, I'm taking him. But he's going number 1.
Yeah, but I'm not. And here's what I'm doing.
That would be Indianapolis too, right?
He's going number 1 for sure.
Here's the deal, and guys, here's the deal with me. All right, I'm trading it. I'm trading picks. I always advocate for going back. I have, in my estimation, to be the best talent evaluator in the NFL draft through 2 drafts. No one's been better. Is that fair?
That's fair.
Okay. So it stands to reason in the last 2 years, I have the best talent evaluator.
Yes.
I am all about, just as if I had the best receiver or if I had the best cornerback or the best quarterback, I am all for letting my weapons be weaponized. And Brad Holmes is the Lions' weapon. With an envelope in his hand, he's the biggest asset that this organization has. So if you were into one of those scenarios where one of those quarterbacks fall, I'm moving back. I always advocate for moving back. I never advocate for moving up unless you're talking like a 20-pick swap from the 3rd round to move up 10 in the 1st round. Or so. If it makes sense mathematically, I'm for it. But I'm not usually in the business of giving up assets completely to move up, D-Mac.
No, absolutely not. And again, can't reiterate it enough. It's it's having trust in your guy. Going in the NHL draft and going in the NFL draft, sit back, because it's going to be good. It's almost the same thing as what I say with Steve Yzerman sits into the draft or when he picks up the phone to call. Nobody wants to answer it. The Lions are becoming that organization with Brad Holmes. Now, you could argue, people are going to argue, well, look at what Seattle did. Yes, but he's one of the top talent evaluators. This is where he cooks. This is like, Neal, if you're a golfer out there, right, and it doesn't matter what your level is, but you do one thing better than everything else. So if you get it, you have that shot, maybe you like the shot from 60 yards, and you have that 60-yard shot, well, you're confident in it, right? Brad Holmes is as confident in his short game. That's his draft game. Right? And we just see, you brought up a great point, right? That what has been shown to me in this free agency is the fact that we got to go now. And the go now signing wasn't any of the cornerbacks or whatever. It was David Montgomery. It's a fact that you solidified at that price a bell cow in the backfield. And yes, we were talking between the breaks about having David Montgomery, and I was the same way on your fantasy team, that you would take. He's going to miss a couple games. You know that, but he's so durable. And I think that if you go watch him run and the way that he runs exactly like this offensive line blocks. Angry, aggressive, violent. I think it's a match made in heaven, and I think Brad
not dicking around.
Not dicking around. And this was the one, if I was going to look to which move solidified that out of anything, it was the signing of David Montgomery. And here we go. So I'm excited to see, because now it's about making them better. I would be surprised, and there would be an explanation of if it's not a defensive guy with the first pick, whoever falls to us, and then an offensive guy with the second pick, though Cyrus or somebody like that, to solidify what makes you stronger. You got to build on your strengths.
You brought up an explanation. Tracy Sandman says, is Jamaal Williams signed, or are we still on the clock? And with the people that I talk to that are close to Jamaal Williams, I'll be waiting for that explanation too, because very good people, D-Mac, and some of them you know very well, that said, hey, this is going to shake out and this is going to get done and stuff like that. Something changed.
Well,
I don't know what that change is, but something changed.
I'll tell you what it was, because I was reading our Councilman Closey out in San Diego, right, who Jamal's agent's Steinberg, or whatever, and I think because of where the contract situation was and the move is that you're going to see him get more of a bag. It's going to be more about getting the bag than it was about filling the spot here. I think they probably offered him 3.5, right? But he's going to go somewhere for 4.5 or 5 or something like this to get paid. And the fact is, unfortunately, wasn't part of the future. I think that he would have been if, like you said, Brad Holmes didn't view this team that were ready to go second half of the season, kicking stuff up. So, unfortunately, casualties, right? There's casualties in getting better, and unfortunately, you love what Jamaal Williams did. You love him as a player, you love him as a person, the energy, but again, this is about winning football games. And the reality is, with Jamaal Williams in your lineup, no matter how many touchdowns he scored and whatever, you were sure to make the playoffs. That's reality.
Yeah, and that's, look, obviously, it was one of those things where I'm sure there was a slot that worked for the Lions.
I'm sure I'm sure it was offered, but it wasn't what he was looking for. Right? Probably it was 2 years, $7 million. And he's looking more for 2 years at $10 million or 3 years at 14 or what, I don't know. But we'll see how it plays out. Sitting here today, I'm happy with our backfield room though. And having to say goodbye to Jamaal Williams.
Here's the deal too. And I saw this a lot last year. Now, granted, was Swift hurt? Yes, he was hurt. Has he been hurt a lot? Yes, he's been hurt a lot. But here's the deal. Here's what I really like, Spenny, with Swift, what they did. And they did this a lot, and he was effective. When they split him out wide, he was dangerous, man.
He's slippery.
He was dangerous.
Well, you can use him more as a weapon, and more of like the halfback option, or more out of the backfield, or more
slot receiver,
more of the hybrid than it is. You give it to the bell cow and Montgomery, right? You got, the violent by design, which is a tag team in Impact, but
and he can catch.
That's
too.
exactly what it is, and then
he's got receiver hands, man. He does. I
want him getting it with a little bit of space, making guys miss. I don't need him running. Anybody else cringe every time he tries to cut back, run up the middle, and gets blasted? Yeah. You wonder if he's going to get up. So he's more of, the most talented guys on your roster, right? Arguably, James Williams with the speed and DeAndre Swift with the maneuverability. So if they're more like Ferraris or sports cars, treat them like that. Keep them out of the contact. You got enough guys that like contact, right? That's the whole thing. So it's okay not to have them. And then if they find out, because I think that they figured out a way. Like a lot of people at the end of the season were like saying, well, why aren't they using Swift? Why aren't they using Swift? But when they used them in different packages, he was effective in the end zone, different stuff like that. That's why I think using him as a weapon.
And if you had a big project going on, I would say, why aren't you using Alta? Why aren't you using Alta?
Ultimate weapons, right? Ultimate weapons. DeAndre Swift out of the backfield, James Williams deep, or Alta. Because uptime matters, guys. Alta equipment has everything you need to get the job done, to get it back on track, whatever you need. Bog project, or even maybe get through that offensive line. Alta Rent, they got you covered. Give them a call today. 844, go to Alta. That's 844, go to Alta.
Hey. You see me enjoying this recliner? A lazy boy recliner, that is? Oh, man. We are trying to hook you up with a couple of these for your home. Woodward Sports Bracket Challenge. And also, Maybe $1,000 too. Sound bad, right? Got a couch like this, some chips, $1,000, couple lazy boys, huh? Woodward Sports Bracket Challenge, man. Join us today.
You're about to be shell-shocked. The catch of the day is in. Big Boy Seafood Fest is officially back. Join us for some of your favorites like our popcorn shrimp and pike perch platters and our classic fish and chips. This year, we've reeled in some fresh catches like our shrimp Alfredo, shrimp stir fry, and our fish sandwich. And especially, don't forget about our all-you-can-eat Friday night fish fry buffet. Every day is a fish fry at Big Boy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Olafson, DC, the founder of the Custom Health Centers, and we've helped thousands of people learn how easy it is to lose weight and keep it off with our customized weight loss and body contouring programs.
With Custom Health, you don't feel hungry, you eat well. My name is Simeon Timbuk, and I've lost 71 pounds on the program.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
The Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck is the home of the original football bowling pin game called Foaling. Multiple different ways you can play. They've got $12 open unlimited play and private lane reservation for $120. If you get thirsty, they got a $2 mystery beer vending machine and multiple fully loaded bars for you to choose from. So make sure you go check them out in Hamtramck or visit them online at foalingwarehouse.com.
Coming down the stretch here, Big D Energy Woodward Sports Network show is ripping by today. NFL New Year starts today at 4 o'clock, so everybody getting everything in line. You have to be salary cap compliant, so all these teams that are over the salary cap, they got to figure it out, and they got to get things locked in a line by 4 o'clock also. Trenton O'Conan says, sorry, y'all, I'm going to be winning that bracket challenge, though. Good luck. Go to woodwardsports.com and jump in there. Fine folks at Gardner White, they're throwing a bag at everybody, bro.
Oh, for sure.
It is. So make sure you get in there and do it. Hat and Beard says, I'd take one of those lazy boys, Bray. Well, go to woodwardsports.com. You can take two of them, Hat and Bray. If you got the game to do it, I'll be filling mine out tonight. I always like to let all the available information play itself out.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I'll be doing. I'll be jumping in there.
I took Miami.
Did you really?
I got Miami.
If any year there's a year to go with a bomb, it's this year.
I mean, they got one of the best guards in the country, too, so I can see him carrying them for a while.
I talked with you guys about this before. I could end up going with UConn.
Yeah, I wouldn't, yeah.
I could end up going with UConn.
I like UConn.
There ain't going to be very many UConn champion brackets out there. And am I betting my family's grocery money on UConn? No.
But a free entry?
Yes.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Where you get a chance to zig when everybody else is zagging?
Oh, yeah.
That's what
I did.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Ain't going to be very many Miami brackets out there.
Definitely not.
You do yours yet, D-Mac?
No, I like to go with the last possible minute, too.
All right. Take all the available info.
All the information.
Mike
But
Bell.
I will be taking an upset. Mine will all be, probably a 4 or 5 seed.
Yeah.
That wins it. I think that, from this year up and probably if I was leaning right now, it'd probably be a Big 12 team. You think the Big 12, is this to say that the Big 12 might be the best conference? Is it the best conference?
No, I was told the Big 10 is the best conference.
No, you weren't.
Yes,
Stop
I was.
it. Stop it.
Well, I was just going because I was told the Big 10 was the worst. So I was wondering who the best was.
See, I've been told for like the last...
If I took a team out of the Big 12 to win the championship, would I be crazy?
No.
Okay.
But see, I was told like for the last 5 years, like the Big Ten's the best basketball conference. I get told that all the time. And then when I look around in March, none of them are there. And then when they are there, they get cooked by the ACC. Is that fair?
Nobody ever said best. They said good. Never best.
A lot of people say best.
Thank you, Spenny.
Hey,
Thank
Spenny,
you.
let me ask you, because your Sparties are in this tournament playing USC and stuff like this, and you mentioned the fact that obviously you got to be hitting the shots and hitting the threes and stuff like this, but I guess the question is, if they win, where do you stand? And if they lose, where do you stand? Does it flip-flop you? Is it an utter disappointment, the fact that USC's got to travel across the country and play arguably a 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock game for them? Because it's set up for you to win. If you lose, because you're pretty much done with the season anyways, are you?
Yeah. I don't expect them to do much. I expect them to win this game, but I don't expect them to go much further than that. So, I mean, if they win, I'll be happy. If they lose, I'll be somewhat upset, but it's not anything life-changing.
Yeah, just real quick, Marquette's a bad matchup for them, too. Marquette's real effective in the paint. I think they're like 6th or 7th in the nation, field goal percentage inside the painted area. Michigan State's a little soft internally.
Yeah, if they get there, Maddie's going to have to grab his nuts for sure.
Yeah. Been waiting on that for a while.
Yeah.
Just saying. WoodwardSports.com chat thread, Wyatt Bear. Here's another one, too. Creighton as a dark horse. I'm big on Creighton. I don't remember their path. The path dictates all this, too. You know, you got to look at how things line up. Like, I like Florida Atlantic a lot, but they got the classic mid-major 9 seed, play the 1 seed in the second round, play Memphis, who's won like 12 in a row.
If I had any money to my name right now, I'd bet every single 5-12 game on the upset, because one of them's going to hit.
San Diego State's another one that got thrown into that 5-12 game.
Yeah.
They don't do any favors to our favorite, the Mountain West.
No.
They never do, though.
They do not.
They never do. Some more NFL discussion real quick. I just want to take the temperature of the room because we've been talking a lot about the draft, which I think now it is relevant because we've seen some of the free agent dust settle. Late rounds of the draft. Y'all got anything that you're kind of, I want to say, pounding the table for? Spenny, I'll start off with you. You're deep in the draft streets. Anything late you want to see? Because I know, like, you're a fountain. You're an Encyclopedia Britannica on CD of knowledge when it comes to the draft. What are you digging deep for?
You're probably not gonna like it, but because you were calling him Luke the other day. But Clayton Tune, I like Clayton Tune in the late rounds. I think he could be a solid option. I think he's a big guy. He's got a big arm. He can make some things happen outside of the pocket. I like Clayton Tune in the later rounds as a quarterback option.
Okay, so let me put you to the test then. The Lions have 2 6th-round picks. Theirs and the Denver Broncos. Where's Tune's projected later, obviously?
Yeah, 5th around there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
If you have the opportunity to take Tune or Jake Moody, which one are you taking?
I'm taking Tune.
See, I'm taking Moody. More practical use for me.
That's fair. Can't hate that.
Okay, and damn it, that's what I was going to say about yours, too. Man, that doesn't make for good conflict. We got to have a conflict about it, Spenny. What about you, Sam Flannel? What do you want to see late in the draft?
I don't know. Does 3rd round qualify as late? Because I'm going to go with 3rd round. I want more... I think he will. I don't think he'll fall to the 5th round because of how well he did in the combine. I want Chase Brown out of Illinois, running back, really, really bad. I think he's got. I saw what he did at Michigan and in this Big Ten with no quarterback play. He absolutely dominated at Michigan. He was arguably the best running back in the Big Ten. You could say him or Blake Corum, but Chase Brown certainly earned his stripes. He's more of a outside the tackles back, one of the fastest running backs, became more of a pass catcher his last year there. I want Chase Brown. I think that DeAndre Swift, he'll play out this year and then he'll be gone, and then Chase Brown can kind of create that smash and dash with David Montgomery. I want Chase Brown.
I'm calling for Swift to play 15 games this year. It's going to happen.
Good luck.
It has to. His future wealth depends on it. He'll be out there.
For all of the DeAndre Swift love we gave him last year, can he get more than 650 yards rushing in a season, please?
I was told he was going to get 1,000 and 1,000 last year.
And that was a terrible... I never said 1,000 and 1,000. I said lead the NFC in rushing, but that was an equally bad prediction.
That's even worse.
But to your point, it's set up for durability, right? By having that bell cow that can handle all the different snaps. And, the upgrade to Montgomery from Williams, so you should be able to keep, for lack of a better term, Swift clean. What I've looked for late, and obviously, if you're going to go, we mentioned before, Stetson Bennett in the late, 6th or the 7th round as that quarterback, if you like him. But I'm looking for the Lions, and I look at a guy like Khalif Raymond, who's undrafted back in 16, but if you can get a guy like that, maybe a wide receiver
like
guy.
Like a pinball kind of guy?
What's that?
Like a pinball kind of guy?
Like a pinball guy that could be versatile on kick returns or something like this. But
so you're like me, you want practicality.
Right.
Yeah.
Practicality or whatever. One of the names that looking out, that the expectations or whatever was, remember all the hype for Spencer Rattler and stuff like this when the South Carolina, and there was a guy there named Antoine Wells. You know what I'm saying? It's sort of under the radar, but it sort of reminded me a little bit of that role. So, this thinking
of
guys.
I like that, D-Mac.
It's thinking of guys like that because that's the support system. And you look at, I don't care, but Khalif Raymond has solidified himself a position on this team. And he's valuable. For making some clutch catches in some tough spots or being a punt returner or kick returner, but being that, that support guy. That's what we need. You need support guys. So hopefully that. I don't think your kicker, you want Jake Moody, but I don't think he's, you probably have to go 4th round for him.
Which you don't have.
What's that?
They don't have a 4th round pick. That's
right,
that's the one rub on this.
I think it's one of those things. If he falls in the 5th, you might take him, but I'm looking for somebody that later in the round that's going to make this roster and solidify this.
Yeah, and another thing I look at in later rounds is a big body receiver, like a big guy you could put out there. Bryce Ford Wheaton, I think I saw a hat and beard in the Woodward Sports chat say that. Looked into him. He's pretty good. He's just got kind of drop issues, but he is big. But a guy I like is Dante Demas Jr. from Maryland. Obviously, we've seen him up close and personal playing in the Big Ten, and he's a big guy. He's like 6'3", runs a 4.5. That's a position I'd like to see. Is that X? You can put an X, especially. I mean, you definitely got to address it early if you're not signing DJ Chark. But if you do sign DJ Chark, a guy like Dante Demas, I think in the later rounds could be a sleeper pick that you could get, and he could be a pretty solid backup for that X position.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Dom Rivera 88 said, "Sounds like a Woodward chat poll: kicker or quarterback." We will have to get that poll up there. Just kind of real quick as we ride off into the show and say, you got 2 6th-round picks. You taking Jake Moody or you taking a quarterback? Because everyone loves to take a spin. How about that one? What do you got on that one, Spenny? 6th-round pick. Who you taking first? Jake Moody or a quarterback?
I'd take Moody first. You said we got 2 6th-round picks.
Yeah.
I'd take both of them, but I'd take Moody first.
You take Moody first.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a no.
All right, your
6th-round
5th-round pick. You taking Jake Moody? You taking a quarterback?
I'm taking Clayton Tune over Jake Moody because I don't think Tune will be there in the 6th.
All right, let's back it up then. 5th-round pick. You taking Clayton Tune or Jake Moody?
Clayton Tune. Yeah.
You are, yeah.
Yeah. I'm doing it right now.
Let's take it to the streets. Don't craft this either or word it up.
A stupid Michigan kicker or the best quarterback in the draft.
For me, real quick here before we cut to the break, I am on that Stetson Bennett train. I am. Hey,
really?
I like Moody
here's
in the
why.
6th, Bennett in the 7th.
Here's why. Here's the why. Velocity. Same velocity as Will Levis.
He's 5'10".
I understand that. Same velocity as Will Levis.
30 years old.
Feathery deep ball. All the scouts said it. Great deep ball that he throws. And hey, yes, he's 5'10", standing, but you can't measure his heart.
Oh,
and the bottom line is, when it's a big game, he plays the biggest. When it's a national championship game, he plays the biggest. When it's an SEC title game, he's always the MVP. It doesn't get any more high level. We've seen it at the highest levels. We've seen it.
He was just born. He was born with some winter dust, obviously. It had nothing to do with all the Georgia defenses and everything. Absolutely nothing. He was just born with winter dust. I'm so tired of Stetson Bennett. F that guy.
Yeah, will you give us a Jake Moody or Stetson Bennett, Mel Kiper breakdown?
I will after I tell you about the Sports Marketing Agency. They help spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Our new podcast is called This is the S Word. Helps fight the stigma associated with seeking help. If you're struggling or someone you know is struggling, go to thesportsma.com. Again, thesportsma.com. The Sports Marketing Agency, they're here to help.
Braylon Edwards here. Michigan Wolverine. Your favorite Wolverine, by the way. I'm here at Gardner White, the only local Michigan furniture store. You gotta come check them out. Lazy Boy, that's my section. They were nice. Perfect timing for that WoodwardSports.com bracket challenge. A couple of these. Ooh, how good are you? Do you think your bracket's gonna be the best? Well, if you think you got the best bracket in Detroit, go to WoodwardSports.com and sign up for the bracket challenge now. Because you know what you can get? $1,000 cash and a couple of these chairs for the crib. WoodwardSports.com. Sign up for the bracket challenge.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
Do you have the best bracket in Detroit? Head to woodwardsports.com now and sign up for our Woodward Sports Bracket Challenge for free, presented by Gardner White. If you win first place, you win $1,000 plus 2 Lazy Boy recliners. If you get second place, you win $500 plus 1 Lazy Boy recliner. And third place, you get 1 Lazy Boy recliner. Special thank you to Rachel Tronstein Stewart, the president of Gardner White, for making this happen. You must be at least 18 years old and a legal resident of the state of Michigan to enter.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, final segment of the show. Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here with you. Subscribe to the podcast. Appreciate all the new audience that popped in today. Explosive growth, tons of viewership, and certainly we're grateful. And we're your spot, man. You want like real sports talk? We're going to do that. You want some talk about life from time to time? We'll do that as well. D-Mac asked for it, and so I will do it for D-Mac because, I want to give my friends what they want, number one. And, I just want to make sure that we really show, the total package as far as Stetson Bennett. So, we can't afford to get Mel Kiper. So I'll bring Mel Kiper to you. How about that, Spenny?
That sounds good. But I hate Stetson Bennett.
Because we're here in the 6th round of the NFL draft, and right now, lines on the clock, and you're looking at Stetson Bennett still available. Now, this is a guy, look, a lot of people talk about him, and they say that he's small, and sure, he's 5'11". I understand that. He's 190 pounds as well, but he is a winner, Stetson Bennett. He's played in big-time games. He's rose up to the challenge. He's beaten a lot of teams, good teams. He's won SEC championship games, and if you look at it, too, if you want a signature moment, he outdueled C.J. Stroud, the guy that everybody's talking about taking number 1 in the draft. He outdueled him in that game against Ohio State. 23 of 34, threw for 3 touchdowns, threw for 398 yards, really outdueled C.J. Stroud. It's a signature moment. The guy's a winner. Every football team he's ever been on, they've won. Stetson Bennett, a little bit older too. He's got a little bit more of that experience that you look for and somebody that you can plug into the room. He's really going to be a student of the game. Does he like the nightlife? Yes, he does, but that's why he's here in the 6th round. And the Detroit Lions, they can get an opportunity to look at him here. I think Stetson Bennett's going to be the play for Brad Holmes, and I think the Lions are going to go quarterback with this spot.
Bam! Nailed it. Nicely done. Nicely done. Let's draft him.
That's impressive, man. That is
his
impressive.
maturity. He's a little older. Lack of maturity, but we can get him on that. No, I like it.
That is impressive.
Sold me on it.
There you go. So,
all right, Sam, your turn. Sell me on Michigan's NIT championship.
Yeah, Jack Harrington said, Sam Flannel, he wants the preview of the 2nd round of the NIT, Michigan at Vanderbilt.
Well, I can tell you what's going to happen, and it will also give me chest pains and an ulcer afterwards, because this is just the start of the beginning of the Joey Baker NIT coming out party. He couldn't do it all throughout the season. He had 32 games in which his career high was 14 points, averaged 5 a game on 37% shooting. And you know why he did that? Because he's saving it all for the NIT. Was I watching Joey Baker out there on the court last game, or was I watching Klay Thompson? Was I watching the reincarnation of Duncan Robinson at Michigan? And that is why Michigan will continue to go on because Joey Baker is going to win the NIT MVP. And he's just going to continue to shoot lights out from 3 like he has never done in his entire career, both at Duke and Michigan. He was saving it all for this NIT, and I am going to go into a mental institution once that happens.
Beautiful.
Because you look at Joey Baker finally getting the usage now with no Jett Howard. He's going to be out there. It's his time to shine in the NIT. He's going to go into Vanderbilt. He's going to play a tune in the home of country music. That's right, Joey Baker, NIT MVP. 6 letters for you, Sam Flannel, NIT MVP. Hey, appreciate everybody knew that was tapping in today. For D-Mac, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. My name is Neal Ruhl. We'll see you tomorrow, 11 to 1, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.